Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be doing a two-part to this video. We're going to be installing Ubuntu Linux in a VM, and then the second part we're going to be doing and setting up Exegol. So Exegol, we'll get into that shortly, but if you guys are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate the support and love. Thank you so much. And let's get into it, shall we? So if you guys aren't familiar with Ubuntu, it's pretty much the world's most famous Linux distro. So if you're on Ubuntu.com, like I am right here, we can go ahead and download Ubuntu. So if you download just the regular old desktop version, you can use Ubuntu 24.042 LTS, which is the version of Ubuntu for PCs and laptops. And the LTS stands for long-term support. And you can install Ubuntu 25.04. This is the latest version. But we're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that today. I want to take it up a notch and do something a little cool. So if you click on Ubuntu desktop and you have Ubuntu flavors, we have different flavors of Ubuntu, which I think is really cool. And I just wanted to showcase this instead of just, installing the boring old Ubuntu. So what are the Ubuntu flavors, right? We have a few. Ubuntu flavors offer a unique way to experience Ubuntu in each of their choice of default applications and settings, right? So you can look at each one. You have Ed Ubuntu, which is probably for education. Yeah, education. Let me move this up. So used for the educational world. And then it gives you a little, image of how it looks. And then you have Kubuntu or Kubuntu. And this brings a full set of applications, including productivity, office, email, graphics, photography, music applications, and all that stuff. So I did look through this just before I started hitting record, and I think I want to go with Lubuntu. This is something that I think that's going to be easy to set up and quick and good for me. So let's give this a shot, and we're going to click on Get, and then this is going to bring us to the page, and then we just hit Get here, and then we can just download the TLS. I always do the TLS because it's the long-term support. And I want to go ahead and click on download 64-bit right here. Let me go down a little bit. Desktop 64-bit, and then let this do its thing. It should start downloading, or if not, let's see if it's just downloading. No, that's the other Ubuntu. So let's just go ahead and download this, the ISO file, and we'll let this do its thing. It's about, what does it say, 3 gigs. So once this is done, we'll resume. Okay, it is done downloading, so let's go ahead and minimize this. And we're going to be installing this in VMware today. So let's go ahead and go to Home if you're using VMware, and go ahead and create a new virtual machine. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring that over here. It's super small, I'm sorry. I'm just going to do typical recommended. And then the ISO image, I want to browse out to the download I just downloaded for Ubuntu. Hit open here. Next, Linux, that's fine for me. And then I want to name this Exegol because this is the purpose of this. I'm going to put VM. And let's go ahead and I want to add 120 gigs. And I want to have a split virtual disk into multiple files. And I want to customize my hardware. I'm going to go ahead and give it 32 gigs of memory just because I have the space and I have the resources. I want to add 4 CPUs. Okay. And instead of NAT, I want to do bridged. I want to bridge my connection. This is the way I want to do my setup. I want to go ahead and get rid of printer. I don't need a printer. And hit close and hit finished. Okay. Before I actually start up this VM, sometimes it adds a floppy. So let's go ahead and make sure it doesn't add it. I don't think it did, but sometimes it does add a floppy here, and I want to make sure I don't have a floppy. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and hit start here. Let's start this VM and get this party started. All right, so let's click in here and let's click inside here. Can I I don't know what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Is that, all right, that worked. All right, so I guess I had to click in it. So I want to do safe graphics or try or install. Yeah, I want to do try or install Lubuntu. I actually never used this distro. Straight up out there, I never used this. So this is a first for me. And I just thought it looked cool in the flavors. So why not, right? Try something new. So we'll let this cook. We'll see what's happening. Okay, this looks pretty cool. All right, so we only have one network interface card, which is bridged to my local area network. And the reason why I just want to put that out there, just in case, why didn't you use NAT? The way I have my network set up, I have my NAT segment on just only my lab machines. So I have all those communicating on one VLAN on my switch. I have a little, OCD with the way I set my stuff up. Since this is going to be in an environment that I want to need local access because I want to be testing certain things, yes, I can use NAT on my local segment, but I just like to, I'm a little OCD, so that's why I do it. I don't need to explain myself. All right, so install. I'm not going to try it. I'm just going to go ahead and say screw it, go for the install. All right, so English is my, American English is my, my language, I hope. America, New York, that's pretty much where I'm at, EST. And then all the defaults here. And then we have full installation, all applications in the normal installation. And then I'm going to do normal installation, minimal installation. I'm going to do normal today. That's totally fine for me. And install additional third party. I'm not going to go ahead and do all of that. Desktop interfaces. Yeah, I don't need to do all that. I'm just going to do, and then I'm going to go ahead and erase my disk because I don't have anything on that partition already. So we should be all good. This will delete all the data. That's fine. I don't have any data on there. It's brand new. Okay. My name, I'm just going to put Pat. What name are you going to use to log in? I'm going to put InfoSec Pat. And then what is the computer name? Exegol VM. Okay. That's what I want to name it. And then my fancy password. Okay. So Pat is my name. InfoSec Pat is my username, and Exegol VM is going to be my VM name. Okay, so summary here. That looks all good. It's going to erase my dev STA, which is my VM partition. Okay, install now. And we'll let this cook. I don't know how long this is going to take, so we'll let it do its thing, and once it's finished, I'll let you guys know. Alrighty, folks, so that took about 5 minutes to install, so that wasn't too bad. So I want to go ahead and leave the click on restart now. That's what it says here, and hit done, and it's going to reboot. So let's see if we can make this larger now, and hopefully it goes to full screen once it reboots, and then we'll see what's cooking. Please remove the media. Okay, enter. I'm going to go ahead and remove the media. I'm going to go ahead and right click on Exegol, go to removable storage, and it's already removed. Okay, cool. Thank you, VMware, for removing my ISO file. All right, so let this cook. All right, this is a new one for me, folks. So, whoa, this looks really different. All right, so let's go ahead. I thought my username was InfoSec Pat, but whatever. All right, so no worries. I thought that's what I put. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But it's all good. This definitely looks super different. So let's see if we can make this smaller and make it bigger again. Is it auto? Do we have to do some updates? Maybe install VMware tools? Maybe we have to install VMware tools. But before we do that, it's still cooking, I think. I actually like the look of this. I know it's super small on the screen right now. Let's see. Before we do that, let's see if we do desktop preferences, background. Guess we can't really make any. I'll probably have to install VMware tools. And I'm just going to go out to Google and install. I think I know it, but install VMware tools Ubuntu. Okay. So let's just run. Let's just here. We can just do the update. I think it should be updated. So let's just go sudo install open VM tools. And let's go ahead and open up a terminal. Terminal. Yes, qterminal is fine. Okay. And let's just go ahead and paste that here. And then put my fancy password. Yes. I just want to get VMware tools installed to get it larger like this. There we go. That was easy. Okay, that was really quick. Okay. And the next one I want to do is install Terminator. Terminator? Can I install Terminator on here? Yeah. I like Terminator just so I can have the different terminals, and I'll show you guys if you guys aren't familiar what Terminator is. Let's see if it installed. Terminator. So this is Terminator. I actually like this better than the regular. Go ahead and yep. All right, let's minimize this for now. So we can use this. I want to make this larger. All right, so I'm going to go see if I can go ahead and pin this to desktop. Layer. I'll figure this out later. Okay, so now what we have to do is, I think it's all up to date, but we can just do apt update just to make sure. Just to make sure everything is up to date and all is good, which it should be because it just installed. So let's see what version. These are the little things I do before. So we're using 24042 TLS. Okay, perfect. All right, so now let's go ahead and start installing Exegol. Like I said, it's a two-part video. I wanted just to knock this out all in one video so I can get this over with. Exegol Linux. Oh, if I can spell, whatever. It brought it. All right, so I just want to do Exegol. Let's just do exegol.com maybe. All right, here we go. All right, so since we have, so just go to Exegol now. Now this is the second part. So the first part of the video was just installing Ubuntu or Lubuntu or whatever it was. And now we're going to go ahead and install Exegol. Exegol is what I'm going to be using for all my CTFs, my pen tests, and all that stuff. I'm going to try to go away from Kali Linux for obvious reasons, but ignore that. That's fine. All right, and then let's just go ahead and go to pricing. So what I thought was pretty cool, I just found this out this week from my buddy Home. So there is a community edition of Exegol. There's Pro Edition, there's Enterprise. So obviously for learning purposes, if you're a student, if you're a hobbyist or whatever, you're going to use the community edition. So that's what I want to do. I'm not going to waste any time. And what we're using is Linux. So I want to go ahead and use the shell code Z shell. So let's go ahead and use this. And what we're going to do is install the requirements. We're going to need GitHub, Docker, and a whole bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and just go one by one for each of the requirements. So let's copy that. Let's come over here. Let me go ahead. This is another thing I do. I always do tools and then. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. So let's go ahead and do that first. Once that first requirement is done, we'll go on to the next. And if you guys are just here for the Exegol, just jump right into where we're at now. We're about, what are we in? 18 minutes in, 19 minutes in. All right, so the next one, in order for pipx to work correctly, you need to run this command. So let's go ahead and run this command. Okay, so we got that going. All right, let's keep it going. So the next one here, reload your terminal by applying the changes. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so those are finito. So those 3 are done. Let's go ahead and hit the complete here and move on to the second step. So let's go ahead and copy the first step here. This is for the Docker engine. This is the main thing that you need in order for you to run Exegol. It runs within a Docker container. So this is something super, super important that's needed. So we'll let this do its thing and move on to the next step once this is finished. All right, so now this is done. Let's go ahead and just make sure we have access to the internet. All right, we do have access. And I want to do an if config or an IPA show. And this is my local subnet. So my network is 192.168.50. I just wanted to make sure all is working. Okay, so that was the first step here. So let's see, that's complete. And then next step here is going to be the wrapper installation. So this is the brains, just like it says. So let's go ahead and copy the first command here and paste it in. And now it's going to create the shared libraries and do its thing for the Exegol install. Alrighty then, so installed package Exegol 5.0 installed using Python 3.12.3. The apps are globally available. Exegol done. Perfect. So let's come back to the next step. So we're going to go ahead and copy this next step and then paste it. Okay, so that's good. We didn't get any errors, so we're good to go. So this part is completed. So the wrapper installation is completed. Now we're going to do the image installation, the muscle. I guess the brains, and then you have the muscles. All right, so you can now get started with Exegol. The info action will show you what's available. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do Control L and see what's cooking, right? All right, so Exegol Community is currently in the version. So we're using Community Edition because we're using this for CTFs and learning purposes. And I confirm that I've read yes. Okay. Okay. Do you want to subscribe? Do you want to activate your subscription? No, I don't want to activate my subscription. And because I don't have a subscription, this is for personal use. I confirm that I'm not trying. Yes, I am a person. All right. So here we go. So now these are the images that are available, right? These are the available images that we have. So we have free, not installed. Add. So we're going to do the free one, obviously, right? So let's go ahead and whack that. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to our step here, and then we're going to do Exegol install. Okay, so we already have the version or the available images. So now let's go ahead and do the install. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. And yes, I'm ready for downloading. Awesome. So now it's going to do its thing. And now we just wait, let this thing cook, and we'll let it do its thing, and then we will check it out what's happening after. Okay, so now we're ready to, the get repository resources was successfully cloned. That's a good sign. And if you're here, now select an image, but by its name free. Okay, so yes, so free is the image. So do I just type in free here? And now it's just going to go ahead, it's going to take up 48 gigs on your disk. I allocated 120 on this machine. So now we'll just let this do its thing, let it cook. It's probably going to take quite a bit. We'll see how long it takes. So we'll be resuming once it's done. Okay, folks, so that was a success. So now let's go ahead and just do Exegol start. So that literally took about, I would say 35 minutes. So it took a pretty long time. So let's go ahead and hit start, and let's go ahead and put my fancy password. And here we go. So there's no containers created yet. So we're going to enter a new container. So I'm just going to put cool hacker. Okay. Cool hacker Pat. I'll just make it that. Okay. So the only image that we have is the free image. So select the image by its name. I want to do free. And right here we have all the credentials, the RDP. I'm just going to go ahead. Is the container configured correctly? yes. I'm just going to type in Y for yes. And then it's going to go ahead and start the setup, right? So now, cool hacker, open up a shell. So now we're in Exegol, right? So the workspace is in my home, InfoSec Pat. Let me just try to make this. Let me hit enter a few times so you can see that. Okay, so right here, we have home, InfoSec Pat, Exegol, workspace, cool hacker Pat. Okay, so this is it. This is Exegol. So now I can just do a Control L, and we can say, for an example, Bloodhound or Bloody AD. So this is just really, really cool that I love about Exegol. I don't remember every single command, but look at it. Like this put Bloodhound for an example. So Bloodhound, quick win, Neo4j, blah, blah, blah. Let's do, for an example, netexec. Okay, netexec, and then we can just do SMB list modules, and we hit enter here. And we can see all the, obviously it's going to do its thing, and then it's going to list all the modules right here for you. This is pretty cool. Let's do one more. Let's see, for an example, SSH. SSH is pretty, let's do LDAP search, AD. So you can see right here, it gives us everything. We just kept the DC name. Obviously, we just put the DC name. And let's say, for an example, InPacket, or let's do get user ID or SPN. And boom, this gives us everything that we need right at its fingertips, right? So that's pretty cool. So let's just do, that's pretty much it. You know, you can just do who am I, you know, I'm root, who, let's do, I don't know. It's pretty much installed now, right? Like we can just run whatever we want to run, nmap, for an example, nmap, and then you can, you know, right there. Obviously you can change it up to whatever you want to do, but that's pretty much it, right? So let's go back to this, and you can have the auto completion for optional. You can install that, but that's all up to you. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to come back up here, and my next step is completed. So I'm pretty much done, right? This is it for this video. So that's how you install and get Exegol up and running. And for example, we can exit here. And just the way you start it is Exegol start. And it's going to ask you what, this is the container, its name, cool Pat. You know, select the container by its name. You can just do, oh, actually, you know what? Let me see if I can do this. Let me do exit. No, let's do no. And let's just do, I just want to exit this thing. How do I exit? Yeah, exit. Okay. So now if we do start Exegol, what was my thing called? Cool Hacker Pat. I probably have to Hacker Pat. So we pretty much just want to start that Exegol instance, right? So yeah, so that's pretty much it. We can exit out of here. And let me see what other thing. Let's do -- help really quick for Exegol. So we can look at the different images. You can update it. Let's see what other things are good to know. Info is going to show the containers. So if we just what we did, info, it'll show us the container that's running right here. And I'm running the free version. And the last thing I'm going to do is update it just to make sure it's all up to date. And I want to let that do its thing. It's all up to date. So we are good. So that's it for this video. I know it was a long one, but hopefully it was informative for you folks. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And I thank you so much for the love and support. I'll see you guys in the next one.